I can do two ways. Okay, so I can do two ways. Okay, those of you who are already in, please type 111. You are watching already. Please type 111 as well. Uh, Mi An just now asked that you can give us an AI app that built around these KPI principles. In actual fact, the principle is the framework of PMTSV. Okay, you can actually use all your notes and put it into the what we call AI, and let the AI study all the notes, and then you describe your business, and then it will come up with your own principle. Don't worry. So AI, I think it's very what we call um, um, smart on that framework. Of course, um, um, uh, um, I am in the midst of building the whole AI infrastructure for all our students in the future, which I feel, later on in the future is no longer much about studying. It's about understanding the principle and how to use the principle. Right. So um yeah, I will consolidate in the future on all these principles that I have and put it into the AI, because a lot of people are asking me to do my second brain. So we'll consider doing it in the very near future. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed so far, and this round we're gonna go into what we call how to build it. All right. So in the morning session, I just want to highlight uh, the whole framework of why we want to actually do what we do on KPI is because we want to be less of us and continuous growth. All right. And by doing that, what is our main goal is for our exit plan. All right. So, but in order for us to do our exit plan, we need to actually leverage. Okay. Because we have only 888. All right. Not many 8 hours we have. Everybody is the same. So, having said that, in order for us to do that, we have a mega plan. The mega plan is exit plan on bank valuation. Instead of the stock market valuation, we go for the bank valuation. So instead of the IPO valuation, we go for the bank valuation that is using Patung San. All right. And that is a way that many of um, business owner get rich by not having going through the capital market. So that is where we learn from Daiwi Massive Debt and PCI and 10X and DNA, and here we are in KPI. So having said that, in order for us to actually have the grand plan on the what we call exit plan, then the key idea is how do we actually assemble a team that mutual benefit each other for us to scale. So the reason why we want to actually assemble a team for us to scale is actually cash flow, building the cash flow. Um, if you want to continue buying Patung San without cash flow, it is not possible, right? So in order for us to fast forward, all right, our property acquisition, right, is either you go for salary, which you save money and then to buy, or you start a business, all right, and using the cash flow from the business, you are more desirable to actually leverage Patung San. So in order for us to start business, we would want to be trapped inside doing it alone, because to start a business, trapping inside to be alone, doing it alone, you need to actually solve the product problem, the market penetration, expansion problem, the team managing problem, the what we call income tax, the what we call sales tax, the what we call all the consultant professional fees, so many things that we need to actually have what we call problems with. So we need a team. So, but having a team, what is the core framework? As I say, at the end of the day, you started selling something, right? And then you make money. And when you want to actually sell more, you actually spend more time doing the selling. And then when you want to actually spend more time doing the selling, you'll be hiring a lot of admin, drivers, what we call production and stuff like that. But that is cost, all right? That is fixed cost to you. So in order for us to actually get out from this rat race, this ignorance, I call it, because I started doing the business the same thing as well, is that we must build sales team. Without the sales team, right? Just imagine, remember the animal, we say, the eyes is the marketing, the sales is the mouth. Without the sales team, you have only one mouth to bite. That would be very, very, what we call stressful if you have an entire team waiting for you to feed and your mouth need keep on opening. So in order for us to understand this, then KPI is the key to actually understand this framework, because it's all about what? Mutual benefit. So the exit plan is about the cash flow. The cash flow is about the what we call exit plan. So in order for us to actually have the exit plan, we need to actually have a business, and the business, in order for us to scale, to leverage, then we need to talk about mutual benefit. So the key is actually mutual benefit. But when you talk about mutual benefit, what is the foundation of to say, I give you this if you do this? If you are successful doing this, I will give you this. What is the foundation of us building mutual benefit? All right. So that is what we call forecast, the budget forecast. The budget forecast is the foundation of everything. Now, if you don't do budget forecast, do not give out KPI. Don't give out commission. Don't give out all that, because that is very, very dangerous for you to actually do that. All right. So the budget forecast is the key. Why? Because that gives you an understanding how many people that you need to put in front to cover the back, to give you the cash flow, to actually get the profit, to actually buy you Patung San. Without the forecast, budget forecast, many business owners fall into the trap of shouldering everything themselves and not being able to get good teams. So budget forecast is the next issue where I bring up to all of us. So please remember that. Yeah. So in order for you to do anything, okay, those days you say, budget forecast, I'm actually fighting. I don't have time to do all these budget forecasts. But today, as we have what we call the AI, it's much, much easier now. Don't you think so? So the only thing is right now you need to understand the P, the M. All right. The P, the M will decide the T, how many people you need. So the P and the M is the thing that you want to actually prompt AI to actually give you a budget forecast, right? Tell your business story and whatnot. And then once you have that, then you are clear, then you look for the team, right? Of course, when you look for the team, then you have the what we call tDNA.ai, where the DNA class 3 days. So this is where you assemble the team in the 10 departments. This one I'm not going to share here in KPI because you learn this in DNA. All right. So, but what I'm trying to what we call highlight to all of us is that the what we call the mutual benefit of the team, right, is very, very what we call important, basing on the budget forecast. That is the key. All right. So a lot of people, they just simply start giving the commission without doing the budget forecast. And lastly, I want to actually highlight to all of us here is what we call the life cycle of a business. Okay, because the life cycle of the business, you need to understand there's spring, summer, autumn, and winter. All right. So if you decide to actually give out KPI and do KPI during the summer, that is where your sales is coming in. You are very hopeful. Your KPI might be biased in a way that you might give too much too early. You understand what I'm saying? All right. When you give too much too early, when you go into the cycle of winter, you will have a problem because the things that you give, you don't take back. When you take back, people will not be happy. So that is the whole what we call the framework that I want to highlight uh, uh, to all of us here, because many people, when they want to start do KPI, they have this blind spot, right? So when their business is doing very well, their KPI is very fantastic, right? But they forgot they give too much, because the business, there's life cycle, all right? So how to actually think about how much to give and stuff like that, then you need to actually be aware of, this what we call business life cycle, all right? So having said that, then that gives you the overall picture of the morning session. All right. How many of you feel that, wow, it's the summary that I just summarized help you a lot to understand the whole framework. All right. If you are, type 222. All right. So I as I say, I hope that doing the KPI. All right. In the internet, there's a lot of information, especially you have what we call the AI. You can throw a lot of things, but as I say, right, if our foundation is not strong, all right, to understand the first principle on the business KPI, the reward and the discipline system, it will be very dangerous of us to prompt the AI, because funny thing is that AI is in such a way that when you they only reply you what you prompt, right? And they will justify why they prompt based on the question you throw to them. All right. So if your understanding is at this level and not at this level, okay, the things that you prompt, you will get bias. Means to say, they will tell you the things that you like to listen, especially GPT. ChatGPT is very, very dangerous. So if you prompt ChatGPT, Cloud is better. Cloud is more smarter. They will tell you the risk and stuff like that. But GPT will tell you, you are right, you are right, you are right, you are right, you are right. And then the more you prompt, the more you feel, GPT, you understand me, I love you. So that is the danger of your first principle understanding. If your first principle understanding is this much, right? That is the only thing that you will get from the AI. But if your first principle is very deep, and then you go into very deep, so when you prompt, it will give you a better prompt. Would you agree that AI is very biased? If you agree, type 333. So don't be carried away on prompting, because it will lead you to mistakes if you don't know what to prompt, right? So that is the reason why I feel KPI is much more easier to teach nowadays, because the thing is, even PCI is much more easier, right? PMTSV, and then after that we are talking about in PCI business growth formula, where we talk about windfall, new profit, preeminent, power pattern on CSF. That give me a little bit. I think that with the bond of AI, it gives me a very good comfort. The reason why is because a lot of students, they say, teacher, the thing you teach is too much. I cannot finish it up. Too many things to do. But with the AI, with the strong foundation of the first principle, our students get to do a lot of things. Would you agree? If you agree, type 555. So likewise, the same thing as KPI as well. So the KPI, the whole idea about KPI is not to teach you very technical thing. Is to teach you very technical first principles. When you understand first principle, you will get very good answer. Would you agree? If you agree, type 555. Okay. So having said that, now let's go into the whole the content. All right. So now let me go into my whiteboard. All right. And then Let me start adjusting this first. Okay, good. Okay, now bring my pen. Okay, good. Okay, now. Okay, now. Now I want to actually start off with what we call revenue optimization framework first. All right. So before we go into who do what, okay, and what is good, what can make profit, okay. Of course, we already have what we call the profit and loss if you have a company. All right. But if you don't, you are starting new, then you need to actually forecast, okay, in the future. But right now, what I want to actually bring to us is this thing called revenue optimization. All right. Revenue optimization. Okay. So this is very, very important to start off with the conversation. All right. So that we understand. Okay. So basically, we already know. Okay. $10 minus of $8 equals to $2. Okay. That is what we forecast. Don't forget, guys, girls. So this is what we call sales. This is what we call cost. And this is what we call profit. Okay. So when we have that, all right, and we need to understand from PCI, 10X, and whatnot, okay, how to actually increase the sales. Okay, the total sales, what I'm talking about. All right. Let's say, for example, if you increase total sales to have 10%, and also you decrease the cost of 10%, right? The multiplier is different because 10% is 11, right? And then negative 10% of 8%, $8 is 7.2. Easier to say, we just round it up to 7. Basically, 11 minus 7, we actually make $4. And if you notice, that is a 100% jump from $2 to $4 by moving two numbers only. But if you actually move 20%, wow, the number is even go crazier. 20%. Okay. What happened is 11 of 20% is 2.2. That means to say we are talking about is the $11, it will become $12. Yeah. Okay. And then $8 of 20% is 1.6. Means to say we round it up to we will what we call minus of $6. Say 12 minus 6 will be 6. Okay. So if you look like that, the whole mathematic will be very different. This is 2 times, and this is 3 times. All right. The mathematic will be very different. So the key is right now, we need to ask who do this. Are we clear? Okay. Who is going to do this, and who is going to do this? Who is going to do this, and who is going to do this? So who do this? Okay. Okay. So now to do this, then the question is what to do? Okay. Who to do, what to do. Are we clear? Yeah. And then, having said that, who to do, then we need to understand the skill set, the behavior, the motivator behind the people that we have. To understand more precise, we need to understand DNA. What to do is the tactical way. What are the things that we need to do in order for the sales to increase 10%? And what are the things that we need to do in order for the cost to decrease 10%? What are the things to do? So what are the things to do is where this is very confusing to many people. Why? Because they don't understand. They say, okay, what to do? How to do KPI? So what they do, they will use what we call other people KPI to actually what we call do and copy for their own company. Okay, so what do you mean by that? Okay, so when you now let me ask you this question here to all of us. Okay, how many of you have done KPI before and you actually download other people KPI to study, and then you use their KPI as a benchmark, and then what we call you use their KPI. Means to say it doesn't really relate to your own company, but because you don't know how to do KPI, you actually what we call copy other people KPI to use. Okay, how many of you have done that before? Type 111. How many of you have done that before? Copy other people KPI to use. Be honest. Be honest. Only one? How many of you have done it before? Copy other people's commission scheme, copy other people KPI, copy other people. No, don't worry. Myself also the same thing. I did the same thing as well. I just want to know how many people are like that. I just want to know how many people are like that. Okay, I just want to know. All right. Okay, so there is, right. Okay, now the thing is like this. Okay, so when you do that, okay, when you do that, you will have a problem. Okay, what problem you will face? You will have a problem of what you are actually doing and measuring is not the real thing. What your business is doing. That is the problem. Okay. So what do you mean by that? Okay, what do you mean by that? Okay, so the real meaning is if you do that, okay, let me close down this. Okay. If you do that, in actual fact, your business what we call system, all right, will look like this. Okay. Okay. So it's like a Frankenstein where you take other people's head, other people's hand, and other people's leg to actually form something to your company. Okay. So how many of you feel that this is quite funny? Okay. Type 444. Okay. So basically this is what normally company do. Okay. Because the KPI does not relate a lot to you. You do KPI just because to please the team. You do KPI just to please the team that you have a KPI. Okay, how many of you kind of agree with this kind of mindset? Okay, if you agree, type 222. All right, type 222. Yeah, so basically, this is the problem, not you. I am telling you, this is the problem for many SME in the market. All right. So how many of you agree? If you agree, type 222. All right. So this is a shark, but this shark also look like a horse. So this horse look like a shark. So you are taking, other people's KPI, other people's system, other people measurement calculation, and you do it for your own company. That is the reason why I keep on saying that, the first benchmark we must have is forecast future profit. You must have that. If you don't have that forecast future profit, then it's very dangerous. You copy other people's KPI, you sometimes will overpay. Sometimes you overpromise. Sometimes you tend to actually have tension between you and your team because they feel not fair or you feel not fair. So that is where the problem lies within. So it's better that you don't do any KPI. Just very direct. You sell this is how much you get. That's it. No more. So it's better to do that rather than, giving bonus, giving commission, giving incentive, giving all sort of dividend or profit share. It's very dangerous, right? Because once you, what we call promise, it's very difficult for you to actually change your words. So that is the problem. Okay, now having said that, okay, so I want to actually revisit two programs. Okay, number one, PCI. Number two, 10x. Okay, now what I mean by that, you see, the KPI for P and for M, they are frameworks which you already learned, right? So the KPI for M mainly is for your salespeople, right? C, S, and F. The strategy of air, ground, and sea is from you because you are the leader. That is the marketing, right? Then when we talk about new profit, windfall, preeminent, all that should be in your KPI system. Means to say you are measuring things to your needs, to your company framework, not copying other people's things. All right. So that is the reason why I ask all of us, when you study PCI, you must keep all the things, because that is your success metric. In order for you to be successful, you need to actually do that. If not, then you are copying other people's things. That is not your success metric, because that is not your strategy. You are just measuring the wrong thing. How many of you understand what I'm trying to say? Type 333. Subsequently, if you go to 10x, then 10x would be the P, products, product innovation, branding, company branding, product branding. So you need a lot of things need to be done for you to make the product standard to be at par or even higher. Need to upgrade. Means to say, if there's no KPI of you giving to your team of upgrading every time, your product might lose out on the desirability in the market. So these are all the KPI that you have to put in place for the P to sustain and for the M to sustain. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't have the KPI to do P and M, nobody is motivated to do the P and the M. Only you. All right. So it's not like clocking in every morning 9 o'clock. If you are late 9 o'clock, I minus your. It's not about that. Of course, that is discipline. But that is not the one that really makes the money. What we want to actually measure the KPI is $10 become $11, $8 becomes $7. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So the key is like this. Okay. Remember this. Okay. So in order for us to understand this, think about this, the analogy. Then you understand better. Think like $10 is your father. Father is the one who actually go out and make money. Think like that. Okay. So that is $10. Then you have the $8. Think of it like your mother. Your mother. So your mother is actually in the house saving money. You understand what I'm saying? So you have a father, you have a mother. Are we clear? Is it easier to understand? Then $10 minus of $8. What do you mean by that? So $10 is the father, minus is the children. Children. Because children do not produce money. Children make you happy. Are we clear? So children is like the accounting department. You understand what I'm saying? The HR department. You understand what I'm saying? The production department. You understand what I'm saying? So 10 is father, minus is children, $8 is mother. Are we clear? Okay, equals to bank account. The bank account give you interest. Do you understand now? Hello? Yeah. So how many of you feel that, wow, this is interesting. This is much more easier to understand. All right. If you feel, yeah, it makes sense, type 555. Are we clear? So the thing is, you must understand what a father do. What is the KPI of a father? What is the KPI of a mother? What is the KPI of a children to make the father and mother happy? Are we clear? Understand? Yeah. So you use this framework and you prompt GPT. All right. You prompt AI. Then it's much more easier for AI to understand because you are telling something to understand that is understandable. Okay. And then equals to 2 is actually the bank account, which whether you put it into the FD and make interest out of it or not. So that is the framework. So if you put it the $2, $1 you keep into the business, another $1 you put it in Patongsan, means to say you are growing the money. Understand so far? So who is doing the work? The father doing the work, the mother doing the work, or the son is doing the work. So you need to understand that framework. So it's much easier for you to understand. How many of you feel that, wow, this is very, very good. It's a very good analogy. Now it's much more easier for you to understand type 888. So the KPI should be in that framework. Are we clear? Yeah. So the KPI should be in that framework. So then you understand, oh, the father is actually the sales. I see. Okay. So then the mother is actually the production, the operation. Oh, I see. Okay. So how do you measure that? By forecast. You already forecast. Anything more, I give you. Anything less, I discipline you. Are we clear? All right. So is that much more easier to understand? Yes. Yeah. So that is the whole framework on what we call the KPI. Because a lot of people, when they talk about KPI, you say, oh, you what how to understand? Very difficult to understand. But in actual fact, if we use this analogy, then the question you ask will be different. Would you agree? Yeah. So now, when we understand this, we need to dissect now. What is the father do? Okay, so let's talk about the father now before we talk about the mother and the son. You understand now? So rather than just telling you, let's talk about the $10. You don't understand. Let's talk about the father. Then later on, we talk about the mother. Then we talk about the son. Then we talk about what you're going to do on the bank account. You understand what I'm saying? So who then the father, the mother, or the son taking care of the bank account? Then you need to understand the framework. Okay, who is going to take care of that bank account? So that is where the minus, okay, can be the finance department. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So the finance department then can be a profit center managing the property for you. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So that is then where the value becomes more clearer. Okay. Okay. So how many of you now, based on that story, you are much more clearer? Type 999. Yeah. So then you can actually what we call what you call think about question to ask. Or no, you don't have a question to ask. You will always be like, how should I think about the KPI? What should I do? So you're not clear on the KPI. Okay. So now to start off with this one, we need to actually go step by step. So this session, I'm going to show you step by step. I'm going to share with you how to step by step think about this whole framework. Okay, how to actually start it. That's the key. So talking is one thing. Talking is cheap. But how to start? Yeah. So two things you must remember. Two things. Okay. So the first thing, let me write it down. Okay. So before I ask this, how many of you have attended 10X? If you have attended 10X, type 111. How many of you have not attended 10X? Type 222. Okay, so at least I know how many people. Then if you're not then I can slow down a little bit, or not, I can go faster. Okay. If you have attended type 1, you have not type 2. Okay, so that I can understand. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So means to say there's quite a number of you have not. So I will go on a little bit slow so that to understand. Okay. Let me share with you a little bit about the what we call 10x, the content. Okay. 10x, there are 27 pillars to support the whole company structure. Okay. Likewise, PCI also the same thing, but there are 27 pillars to support a product, because this 10x is about product. 27 pillars. So that 27 pillars, we are talking about 9 pillars for the product, 9 pillars for the company, and 9 pillars for the brand to actually come up with the whole total product of the hard and the soft. So that is the 27 pillar. When you come in, you have that 27 pillar. Now, previously, when our student come into 10x, they will go crazy because they are overwhelmed. They overwhelmed because there's too much things to do. So that they feel that they overwhelmed. They have too much things to do. But today, with AI, so easy already. So easy. Right? But we don't go into that 10x. So those of you who have not come to 10x, please do come for 10x. Okay, those days 10x is 3 days, but today no need 3 days already. 2 days can do already. The reason why is because we got AI, so we don't need 3 days anymore. 3 days I don't know what to teach. So unless I sit there and let you do the AI, which we don't need. Yeah. So that's the framework. Yeah. So that is 10x. Okay. So I hope next time when 10x, either we are online or offline, please, because nowadays is for me, I don't know why, because I just feel that online is better. For me, I learn online. Of course, offline is good. Why? Because we can network together. But likewise, anyway, there's good and there's no good. But anyway, I come back to the 10x first. So you have the 27 pillars. The reason why the 27 pillars is that we are preparing. Imagine you want to go for hunting. Hunting, hunting? You go hunting for animals, all right? You need to prepare the arrow. You need to prepare the sword. You need to prepare a lot of the gun. You need to prepare a lot of what we call tools for you to kill. So that tools is 27 pillars. Okay? So when you come to 10x, you will learn how to create the tools to make the product sexy. You understand what I'm saying? So that is where you will learn blue ocean strategies and stuff like that. But those days when I teach blue ocean, I need very deep. I need to sit down and talk. But today, no need. Today, I tell you, you can use the AI. AI can draw you the whole graph. You don't need to actually draw again. So it's so easy nowadays. You just prompt. Okay. So when you come to 10x, you understand. 10x is all about your product. Once you make the whole product become very desirable, innovative, okay, then the product cannot walk to the market. The product needs someone to bring them to the market. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the product don't have legs. Who is the leg? The leg is your sales. That is the key. So in 10x, why it's called 10x? Means to say you are actually betting money, casino money, to build teams. And this team have 9 types of team. 9 types. Okay. So what is the 9 types? So this is where we're going to go one by one. Okay. So let me draw, then you understand better. Okay. There are 9 types of team in 10x. Okay. So, so imagine this is where's the pen? Okay. Imagine this is a arrow. Okay. And 9 types of teams have this framework. So, but when you what we call when you come to PCI, then you will understand better. So, but don't worry about it. Okay, so let me get up from here. Oh, okay. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 type of teams. Okay, so these are all team that you can form. Okay, so this team is what we call blitz. Okay, so let's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there are 9 type of teams and we call it blitz. For those of you who don't understand what is a blitz, let me share with you, then you'll understand better. What is this red color? Funny. Okay, let me is there a red color here? Let me rub it off. See, oh, can be rubbed off. Okay, good. Hey, come back again. Okay, it's okay. No worry. Okay, fine, it's okay. So let's talk about blitz now. Okay, blitz is groups that we form, okay, to actually attack the market. So for those of you who don't know what's a blitz, it's a German word. Blitz means lightning. Lightning. So means to say, for us to actually fight the market, we need to form blitz. This is where the German, remember the Nazi, Hitler, they form blitz, small group of people to fight. So they quickly get a group of people, they form a group of people and they fight. And then when they die, they come back, they form another group. So it's called blitz. Each blitz of these people have different kind of specialty. Some of them are sea blitz, some of them are ground blitz, some of them are air blitz. So different type of blitz. In actual fact, there are 9 blitz. Okay, so let's talk about that. Number 1 is what the normal one is called the sales blitz. Of course, there are more than 9. I'm just giving example so that you can understand. Then we also have what we call the telemarketing blitz. Yeah. Then we also have public relation blitz. PR. Okay. Public relation blitz where they go to different association to make friends and whatnot. Then we also have the digital marketing blitz. This is the online group. All right. So that's why a lot of people say, hey, marketing also can make money, ma. So if you refer to this digital sales, then yeah, it is. Okay. Then we also have roadshow blitz, where they will go to shopping mall to actually do the sales, where they will set up stalls, they will put up booth, they will also have what we call the retail blitz. This one is very common, like for example, they will open up showroom in different places, but this one is very what we call high cost. Okay, then we also have what we call this referral blitz. Okay, and then we also have what we call this mobile unit. Okay, now what is mobile unit? This is where they will put things on inside their trucks, all right, and then they will put what we call the showroom inside the trucks. Okay, like the coffee truck. Okay, like a coffee truck where they will move. So it's called mobile unit, right? So and then we have membership. So there are many type of blitz. There are many more. So if you want to actually understand many type more, what you need to do is I want to create sales group, and in this is called Blitz, and this Blitz is actually from the German word. Let me give you some examples: sales blitz, tele blitz, PR blitz, digital marketing blitz, and you type all the 9, and then you say, can you give me more type of blitz that which I can do? All right. So then you will have more ideas on what type of leads you can create to actually attack the market. Okay. So sales can be the ground sales, can be C sales. Tele can be the online sales, the air sales. Public relation can be the sea and also the ground. So it all depends. There are many multiple what we call combination. Okay, how many of you feel that wow, you learn something new and you feel wow, this is how actually sales group can be formed and look like? How many of you feel that wow, type 333, type 333? So there's not only one way that you can do sales. This is where I teach in what we call the 10x. All right. So this is where you form a team. Okay. So let's say, for example, now, okay, I have 30,000 US dollar now. Okay. Okay. So if I have 30,000 US dollar, if this is actually a casino table, it is a casino table, okay, how much money of this 30,000 I want to build a team? Okay, so the idea is, okay, if that's the case, I want a PR blitz. Okay, so then you say, okay, teacher, I think based on what you say, I want to bet this one, which is the public relation. I want to bet sales. That's definitely one. Okay, and I also want to actually do referral because the cost is much cheaper, 7. Okay, so I will form a team. All right, then I also will do membership, number 9. Okay, so based on that, then you take this 30,000, you split that into your casino. Are we clear? This is like a betting table. Are we clear? Hello? So these are all percentage. You split it into percentage. Are we clear? Okay, how many of you feel that wow, this is very interesting? This is very interesting. Type 777. Okay, you split it into percentage. So you bet for them in 3 months, either they work or they don't work. So this is the framework how you actually do what we call in 10x. That is the reason why the class is called 10x. Okay, you prepare the ammunition for the product. There's 27 things you need to prepare. After that, you give it to the blitz and the blitz move. Of the 27, each of these blitz will use different things of the product. They will highlight different things in the product. Okay, so that is the what we call the framework. All right, so that is I will share with you more on that, but let me share with you this blitz first. Okay, so on the 20, how many of you want to see the 27 pillars? If you want to see the 27 pillars, type 333. Okay, now if you want to see the 27 pillars, okay, now if you want to see the 27 pillars, which I will do it later on after this session. Okay, we finish this session first, and then we'll go on the 27 pillar and also the PCI content. So I will revisit the whole thing again, so then you understand better. Okay, so now why we do this? Okay, is because we want to actually have mutual benefit. Okay, because all these are people, the sales team first. Okay, so now having said that, okay, now then we need to understand what we call the business framework now. Okay, so now let's go on the business framework. Okay, so then you understand better. So this is what we call the business model 3+1, okay, which you already know. Okay, so but how do we actually build this? This is the important part. talking is one thing, but how do we actually step by step build it? Okay, so this is where we will have what? PD1, PD2, and PD3 plus a property. Remember? Okay, so this is where it becomes interesting. So this is what we call PD1. Okay, this is what we call PD2. This is what we call PD3. Okay, now of course, let's talk about PD2. You want to talk about this amount. Okay, how do you get this amount? P multiply M. We know this. Okay, so let's say, for example, we want to actually make, let's say, 300,000 for that. Okay, in profit, I'm talking about in profit. Okay, so now having said that, then because of that, we say, okay, how do we attack the market? All right, so how do we attack the market? Okay, how do we attack the market? That is where the blitz will come in. So that is where the blitz will come in. What do you mean by that? Okay, so let's say, for example, okay, I would say, okay, just now, Adrian, you say that, I will use sales. Okay, so it means to say we have a 3 blitz. 1, 2, and 3. So we are using what blitz? 1, 3, 7, and 9. 1, 3. Let's just do 3. Yeah. Okay lah. Let's do all lah. It's okay. Let's do 1, 3, 7, and okay. Let's do this as well. No problem. And 9. Okay. So these are all the blitz. Are we clear? So these are the blitz that actually contribute to what? To the profit. Are we clear? Okay. Okay. So these are the groups of people that we are attacking. Are we clear? So basically, we are talking about the air, the ground, and the sea. It all depends. So different industry, different way of thinking. All right. So the air, ground, sea, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember business growth formula? Ground 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like an Arnold shape, BGF. Remember? So then you will have your what we call blitz doing the work. Are we clear? Yeah. So if that is the case, then how much is the target for this blitz? So you might say that, okay, we want 300,000. So this one make 100,000. This one make 100,000. This one make 50. And this one make 50. Okay. So now you are clear with this already. Okay. So means to say we already forecast this, and these are the group that we will form. Okay. So with 100,000, I sell product A, B, and C. This one I sell A, C, and E. This one I sell B, D, F. This one I sell product C and D. Are we clear? So they are method on, this is our products. Okay. Okay. So once you understand that, then these are what we call the sales number. So then you need to actually multiply how many units. So I don't need to write there. Okay. So then you understand. Then after that, we have what? We have this thing called seller salary. Okay, this is where the negative part. So let's say, for example, the salary we are paying one person 1,000, okay, another person 1,000, another person 2,000, for example. Okay, so means to say our cost is 4,000. Okay, multiply 12 months is 48,000. Okay, and then 100,000 minus of 48,000 is positive 52,000. This is gross. Before cost of good. Before what we call, sorry. It's already profit. There's no problem already. Okay. So that is the profit. Okay. So this is what we call profit. Let me write down. Profit. Gross profit. Okay, gross profit. Are we clear? So if you are clear, type 222, please. If you are clear, type 222. Okay. Likewise, you do it for the same thing. All right. So let's say, for example, this one is 2K, okay, and 1K. Okay. This one, the salary is 1K and 1K. This one, the salary is 1K, 1K, and also 1K, for example. Okay, so basically, if you understand this framework, then you will get the total 3K, 2K, 3K, multiply 12 months, multiply 12 months, multiply 12 months. Now, how many of you understand what I'm trying to say? Type 555, please. Or not, I worry that you all don't understand. Please, if you understand, type 555. So this is 36,000. 24,000. Thank you very much. Okay. And then 36,000. So basically, you are talking about 24,000 here. Sorry. 64,000 here. Here is 26,000 here. And here is what we call 14,000 here. Can you see this now? Are you understanding more clearly now? Okay, so basically, this is what we call the framework. Okay, so means to say this is gross profit. Okay, so basically, how many of you now are much more clearer, and then you learn something very interesting? Type 777, please. Type 777, please. So basically, these are your sales direct team. All right. So the key is now, based on this, how do we can attach mutual benefit to them? Because they are our front person who is attacking. They are our mouth. Are we clear now? Okay. Of course, this is gross, not deducting fixed costs, including fixed salary. Are we clear now? Right? So this is where the whole framework is based on, all right, to start with. So you cannot do the starting point if you don't understand this philosophy. Are we clear? Okay. So the starting point must be very clear. Or not, you cannot start. It's very difficult for you to start because you don't have a starting point. Are we clear? No. So those of you who are clear, type 222, please. Type 222. This is the starting point, okay, of you generating. Okay. Of course, having said that, then based on the money, then we move it to the property. So then that because of that cash flow, we can move percentage to the property. That one you already learn in PCI. You already learn in PCI. Okay. So I want you to think in a way that is like an arrow. How do we attack? So when we do that, then the key is how do we relate this to what? Mutual benefit. To these people. That is the key. Are we clear now? All right. So having said that, you need what? You need to forecast. If you don't forecast, can you do it? Cannot. So then if you want to forecast, what must you do? Sales first. Don't think too much. Don't just feel that, oh, I want to give money because I got money. I make this money. So you help me to I go out, I do the sales, you help me to close to get the things done. Therefore, I give you commission. No, commission is based on hunter, not completing the job. Hunter have hunter's benefit, completing job have completing job benefit. How many of you are clearer now? Type 222. All right. Are you all listening or are you not understanding? If you understand, you listen, please type 222. At least I know that you understand. Okay. Understand so far? Okay. Okay. How many of you don't understand? If you understand, type 222. And the rest first. Any questions so far? No question? Yeah. Any questions so far? No question, huh? Okay. So if you those of you who don't understand, okay, I don't or slow down a little bit. Okay, can. At least you let me know. Okay. Do you want me to what we call explain again? If you want me to explain again, type 444. Okay. I think we have to give credit to our translator because it's not easy to translate because it's all numbers. Okay, so I think Tom is translating, I think, yeah. Yeah. Okay, now let me share with you this again. Yeah. When we talk about the okay, so let me backtrack this first. So when we talk about $10, so when we talk about $10 minus of $8 equals to $2, we need to think about this as father. And this as son. Because it gives you happiness. And this is mother. And this is bank account. Okay? So we must understand that. So the key is, what must the father do? What must the mother do? What must the son do? Okay? So these are the things that we need to understand so that you can move the 10% up and the 10% down. Are we clear? If you are clear, type 111. Okay, so very good. So all of you clear. So what must the father do? What must the mother do? What must the son do? And then the question is, Who take care? To grow. Okay. So normally the best choice is the son. Means to say the finance. That is the better one. Okay. So all you understand this framework? If you understand, type 111 again. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. Now, once you understand that, then let's from now on target one by one. Okay. Let's target this one first. Okay. And then let's target this one after this. And then let's target this one. Are we clear now? So now, just now the topic was to cover this one first. We are covering this one first. We are talking about this one first. Are we clear now? Okay. So basically, I'm not talking about this one, not this one, not this one. I'm talking about this one. The father that hunt. Are we clear now? Okay. Now, once we understand that, then we come to this. Father can be doing different type of work to actually get the money in. Are we clear now? If we are clear, type 222. Okay. Father can be a lot of what we call formation. Father can be a lot of shapes, sizes. All right. So it can be a sales father, telemarketing father, public father, digital marketing father, roadshow father, retail father, that kind of thing. Okay. So now, let's say we are giving 30,000 for the father to hunt. This is the 30,000 cash for the father to hunt. Per year, I'm talking about a year, 30,000 a year. Okay. So is it now, once you understand that 30,000 a year, okay, so what are the money that you will bet in to actually do this, do this, do this, do this? Okay. Now you might say, oh, in order for doing to do the four things, is not enough because, oh, sorry, because the thing is, if you look at this, the salary is already more than this. So in order for you to do that, you have to have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 20, for 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, 130. So means to say you cannot have this. You need 100 and let's say 50,000 to do all this within a year. Are we clear? If you are clear, type 333. So let me then rub this thing off. Okay. So means to say you need, let's say, let me write it off. Okay. You need 150,000 a year. Okay. Are we clear? If you are clear, type 333 because the what we call 48, 36, 24, 36 is equivalent to 150,000 a year. Are we clear? Clear? Huh? Okay. So once you do that, then we say, based on that 150,000, how much I want to make? I want to make the gross profit of 300,000. Okay. So based on that gross profit of 300,000, then I will split that into group 1, group 2, group 3, and group 4. Okay. And each making the money. Are we clear? If you are clear, type 444. Very good. Okay. So each one making the money, then we need to actually calculate what type of product they are selling. We need to understand what type of product they are selling. This is P. All right. And then they need to actually sell it to and make and they make 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, and 150,000. All right. P multiply M. Okay. So this is a P. They will multiply M and they will get the 100,000. P multiply M, they'll get 100,000. P multiply M, they'll get 50,000. P multiply M, they will get 50,000. Gross profit. Are we clear? So gross profit, then we need to minus off the salary, which we already include. So this is the amount that after doing it, we make. Okay. So that is the framework, all right, of this whole framework. Okay. So understanding that, the key is what is the mutual benefit that we can give to these people? Okay. Based on the thing that they already done. So which once we understand that, then we need to actually tell, okay, if that is the case, what is the profit? What is the commission? What is the incentive? What is the bonus? How much bonus per year they will get? So we need to actually have the forecast first, all right, and reverse engineer this whole calculation. Now, can you ask the AI to do calculation? If you say can, type 555. Because all of us are business owner. We don't need to actually, what we call be too detailed on the numbers. We want to know the framework on how this thing works. If you feel that AI or things it can help you to generate this, type 555. Okay. Or cannot. If cannot, type 666. Or you don't know, type 666. Can. So if that is the case, this will give us the whole framework on how, what we call the first part of the hunter part. Okay, because if we don't understand the hunter part, it will be very difficult for us to actually give the KPI. All right. Why I say like that is because you must understand. Once you do this, then okay, to carry more in depth, then you also have what? Fixed salary and fixed costs like rental and whatnot. Yeah. So then you have to minus off, 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 and then only you will get a number. Are we clear? So this is the whole total framework on the understanding. Okay, how many of you now are much clearer? Type 666, please. Okay. So understanding this framework, okay, then we need to understand how many sales people to hire and how many teams formation that you can do. Are we clear? Okay. So this is where the 10x will teach you. So that's why I said in my class, I cannot teach all this thing in 3 days. That's the reason why you join the platinum. The reason why is because we need to actually see the overall picture to understand this. You cannot just look at just one part and you expect to understand the whole foundation on the business framework. Are we clear? Okay. So once we understand this, okay, then that is settled. Okay, that is already settled. Okay, so there's no problem with that anymore. Okay, so now then we need to zoom out again. Okay, zoom in, zoom out. Now this is what we call zoom in. Okay, so after talking about the what we call let me see. Okay. So the forecast with Blitz, then this is the sales part. Okay. Now we need to actually go on to more in depth. Okay. So this is where we will talk about another topic. Okay. So this is what we call the Blitz. On the sales part. Okay. Now that is the front part. Now we need to talk about what we call the organization chart. Okay. So now we need to draw how many people inside. Okay. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. Organization chart. How do you build organization chart? Because the front part is very easy to understand. Sales, 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 sales. That is the front part. Now we need to talk about the back part. Who are the cost people? Okay, so this is where the organization chart become very important. Okay, so in order for us to actually do KPI, these are all the tool set. Later on in the afternoon, I will then combine everything together. So I'm actually teaching you tool set first. So now we talk about organization chart. Now, organization chart, what is organization chart? Okay, so you already know the organization chart framework. Okay. So we are talking about marketing, sales, management, what we call operation, or even administrative. And then we talk finance, account, customer HR, customer service, R&D, and production. You already know this. Okay. How do we draw an organization chart? Okay. Same thing. This is the mouth. This is the eyes. This is the leg. And this is the tail. Okay. So now, so in order for us to draw this organization chart, it's the same thing. A lot of people, they don't know how to draw organization chart. Because when you draw organization chart, you say, teacher, I am only 5 people, but there is 10 department. How to draw an organization chart? Okay, how many of you are somewhat like that? Not many people, but you also don't know how to draw an organization chart. Okay, if you are, type 777. Now, a lot of people, they said, I just 4 people, how to draw an organization chart? Many people don't understand that. Okay. Or some people, they have a lot of people in the company, but don't know how to draw organization chart. How many of you are like that? You have a lot of people in the company, but you don't know how to draw, get the best one, type 888. Okay. You have a lot of people in the company, but still you are not very clear on how to draw organization chart for your organization, type 888. Okay. So, so likewise, okay, it's the same thing. Okay. So you will have this company. Okay, so let me go into the details here. Okay. Okay, now you have a company. Okay. How you draw an organization chart is very simple, not difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the first one, your organization chart is marketing. Then you have management. Then you have finance. Then you have HR. Then you will have R&D. Okay. Once you do that, then you need to understand who is the head. Who is your marketing head? Okay. So you need to actually put the position in. So this one is a bubble, 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 and bubble. Okay. Then after that, you need to actually draw down. Okay. And then position the people if you have. Okay. Okay. And this is what we call the sales. And this is what we call the operation. And this is what we call the finance accounts. It depends on how many people you have. All right. Or sorry, function that you need to run. Okay. Not have, but run. Okay. You have the HR, probably just one. This is what we call customer service. And then you can also have a person. This is what we call production. Probably in the production, you have factory lines. You can do that as well. Customer service, probably you have the head. You can also do that as well. Okay. So this is how an organization chart will look like. You should be having that as well. Okay. Now, let's say, how many of you, your office is less than 5 people? If it's less than 5 people, type 555. Probably you, your husband, your children. Okay. So the question now is that once you do this, okay, then you need to actually come up with this. Okay. Marketing, who do? Teacher, I do. Okay. Then who do the management? Teacher, my wife do. Then who is going to do the marketing? Oh, my wife. Finance, my wife do. Who is doing the HR? My wife do. Who is doing the R&D? You do. Okay. Then who is doing the sales? You do. Who is doing the internet marketing? You do. Who is doing the PR? You do. Oh my God. Then who is doing the accounting? Your wife do. Sometimes you help. Okay. Then who is doing the R&D? You do. Who is doing the customer service? Your son do. Who is doing the operation? Your son do. Sometimes you do. Understand so far? Okay, how many of you feel that it's funny? type 111. But in actual fact, that is the honest thing. Okay, so that is the honest thing. Okay, so now once you have that, okay, this is the component.